Okay, hey Viola, I'm gonna be walking you guys the best I can through Ships of Ireland today. Unfortunately, I'm at home right now. I do not have a viola. I do have a violin, so the parts that I can demonstrate for you all on the violin, I will be doing that. But otherwise, anything that's dropping down to your C string, I'll just be doing my best, clapping count and walk you guys through that the best I can without, being able to demonstrate. If that's not enough and you're still unsure of how a part's supposed to go that I can't demonstrate, don't forget you can always contact me, email, comment. Remember, I have my office hours every single weekday from 1 to 2. You can stop by with a question, and I will do my best to kind of, walk you through it and make sure that you're able to play your part um, the way it's supposed to be played. Okay, anyway, we're just going to jump right in here at the beginning. First thing we always check when we get a new piece, and we all know this, we check our key signature and we check our time signature. Um, Key signature, we have no sharps, we have one flat, B flat, right? So we need to already be thinking, okay, so that means we're playing F natural and C natural first off, so we need to make sure we're not playing F sharp and C sharp like, we kind of get in the habit of just playing by default. And then any B's that we come across need to be B flat. So that's, low 2 on our G string, low 1 on our A string. But luckily for us, if my memory is right, I don't actually think we have too many B's in this piece anyway, if any at all. But if one does come up, we know we need to make sure like it's B flat. And then we have our 6/8 time signature. Now, if you need a quick refresher on how 6/8 works, or if you're not even sure at all, I have a video I did on counting and playing in 6/8 time, so I will go look at that because I'm not going to talk about it too much here because I already talked about it there, and just to save you guys time that I've already got it. So if you need to go check that out, do that and then come back. So we're in 6/8 time, 6/8, 6 beats per measure. So here, right off at the beginning, we're pizzicato. And we have these dotted quarter notes just back and forth for the first 10 measures. So if we remember in 6/8 time, all these dotted quarter notes are happening on the strong beat. Remember in 6/8 time, we usually count in 2. So we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pluck, 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 back and forth, so on and so forth. And we just need to kind of make sure we're watching carefully where the notes are kind of dropping and changing. Just don't get caught out thinking you're playing the same thing over and over. And that's really all there is to that. That first 10 measures shouldn't give us really any trouble. Once we hit measure 11, though, we're going through a pretty big change. We're going from pizzicato over to arco, and we're changing from playing all these like strong beats over to playing all eighth notes all the way up until beat 4 of 18. Now, if we look at the way these notes are all grouped and slurred, we see that every bow change is happening on that strong beat. So again, with our metronome, so we're thinking down, 2, 3, up, right there on beat 4, down, 2, 3, up, 5, 6, down, 2, 3, up, 5, 6, just throughout this whole entire section. So make sure we're slurring our notes in groups of 3 with our bow changing happening on the strong beats 1 and 4. The next thing I would highly, highly recommend for this section, because right now, as you could probably see, I've got my metronome. My face is in the way. Metronome right now is at 75. That's just our practice tempo. And our piece is actually marked quite a bit faster than this 90 through 100. We're just keeping it slow so we can get the notes and rhythms down for now. We're not worried about getting it up to tempo yet, just like we do every day in class. To make sure we can play it at the higher speed when we get there, we're going to want to do our best to keep all of this on one string. And what that's going to mean is we're going to be playing A, first finger A, and then I would use pinky D. Otherwise, you're going to break your shoulder trying to get all these string crossings as fast as they're asking you to play that. So be thinking 1 4 1 1 4 1 1 4 1, right? So keep that all in the G string. 14, we change open G to C, so make sure don't let that catch you by surprise. G, C, C, G, C, G, right? 17 kind of mixes it up a little bit again too. You have the A, D, A, G, C, G, A, D, right? So again, just every bow, make sure it's happening on the strong beat. keep it all on one string. Careful with your intonation, and I think that will be the best way to play it. And I will demonstrate that for you guys real quick. All right, so now we've hit measure 19, and here at 19, we've kind of got the harmony part to the melody, is what you guys have here all the way up to through measure 26. First thing to note, we've dropped down dynamic. Our level is now piano. And let's talk about this rhythm that we've got at 19, because this is actually a really popular rhythm that happens a lot in 6/8 time, where you have a quarter, eighth, quarter, eighth, quarter, eighth, quarter, eighth. Right? So remember, 6/8 time, eighth notes get the beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 eighth notes make up a quarter. So each one of these quarter notes is actually going to be 2 beats long. So we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With the metronome, clapping and counting that. Where's your class? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so just making sure the quarter notes are landing on the strong beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we just want to make sure we're keeping on top of that. Yeah, like I said, we have kind of the harmony to the melody. It's really not too bad. 25. Watch out, the slur is a little bit tricky. Slur 2. Change bows on 3, so we're down bow on beat 4. 1, 2, up, down, 6, land on the A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this part will be played out just like this. Okay, 27 is going to be real similar to kind of like the same thing we had back at 11. The notes, however, are going to be different. So remember, we're changing our bows on 1 and 4, 1 and 4, basically throughout all of this until we get to right before 35. Our notes, however, are obviously different. The D, F, remember it's F natural, don't forget that. D, F, D, D, F. Don't let this trick you. It doesn't go back to D, it goes to E instead. So make sure we're not playing an open D there. Make sure we're playing E. Here, unfortunately, we do have to do some kind of quick string crossings, going from C to F. I mean, there's not too many ways around this. Unless you wanted to play this in like third position and do like first finger C, pinky F, but I really wouldn't recommend doing that and like having that in third position too, because that gets just to be a bit much. It's best just take this, practice it slow, get used to the feeling of having those quick string crossings and making sure we're still subdividing our eighth notes correctly. And then, like, as you get more comfortable with it, then just as with everything we practice, start it slow, then start to speed it up. The C F C C F C, right? D D F D D F E, and then it's just kind of back and forth. Watch out in measure 35, it mixes it up a little bit. D E D C E C, and then you're back to the D F D D A C, landing on D at 35, and this part will sound like this. All right, that brings us to 35, where we have another one of those kind of melody harmony things going on, and this is unfortunately one of those parts that I can't really demonstrate for you all because I don't have a viola, but I'll do my best to walk you through it. So we're back to that rhythm that we talked about back at 19, where it's quarter, eighth quarter, eighth quarter, eighth quarter, eighth. So just making sure we're moving our bow on 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, watch out for these eighth notes that are slurred here, up, down, up, landing on the down bow here on this E. We have a eighth rest here on this is beat 4. This is that other strong beat. 1, 2, 3, rest. We play on 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Right? So you land on that E. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 is what's happening there, 38 and 39. You have that slur here getting down, up, down, up, down, up. Right? So clapping through this entire section the best I can from 35 all the way to 43. Follow along. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, rest, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, measure 43. I know we've got some new crazy stuff here that we may have never seen before or talked about, but I promise it's actually really not too bad. First things first, let's talk about the things we do know. Div, which means one person is going to be taking the top note, one person is going to be taking the bottom note. And remember, our general rule is if you are on the outside stand, you'll be taking the top note, inside stand takes the bottom note. Outside stand, top part should not give you any trouble. Playing dotted half notes, which in 6/8 time is basically the whole measure. It's a whole note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, D 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bum bum. Then we change to C. So it's all D's and C's. Top stand's not going to have any trouble. Let's talk about this nonsense though that we have for the bottom note. We have this tiny little G sharp that's slurred over to the A. Now this is what we call a grace note, and grace notes are notes that kind of happen in between the beats, not like in the same way like eighth notes and 16th notes. Grace notes are notes that are like almost like you're sneaking in to the music. Like they don't actually have their own count. They're actually coming before the count would actually happen. And so how we're going to do this, and I'll demonstrate this on my violin here. So we're going from G sharp here at low 1 up to that A. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our first finger and we're just going to gliss or slide our first finger from that G sharp up to the A. Right, so just like that. So in time, at 43, we're thinking... is all we're doing, just sliding first finger up. And this is one of those instances it's okay to get kind of that slide sound because this is like an Irish sounding piece, and it kind of gives it more of like a... It's supposed to sound like bagpipes is the point. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate the lower part right now. Okay, we've now made it to page 2. We're on measure 53. So 53, we can already see we've got a bit of a tempo change. So we will go a little bit slower here. Right now, while we're practicing learning notes and rhythms, we don't really worry about that too much because we're just slower all around in general. So, just keep going your practice speed. I'm going to keep the metronome there at that 75 because I think that's comfortable enough. We have 53. We're back to forte again. Make sure we're counting our rests carefully here. Now, remember, when we see whole rest, we think of 4 beats, but really it just means rest the whole measure. And we also have dotted quarter rests, and I know we never really see those before. They look a little confusing, but if we remember a dotted quarter note and dotted quarter rest are the same, this is just 3 beats of rest. So we play 2, 3, rest 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, play 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, rest 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. I think we get the point. That's really all there is to that. I won't talk anymore about that. 61, we're back to our quarter, eighth quarter, eighth quarter, eighth dotted quarter rhythm that we have a lot. Again, we know we're dropping below our G string, so I you can't demonstrate this on my violin, unfortunately. But I'll try to walk you through this again. Just make sure you know we're playing 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6. So clapping and counting this part at 61, we have starting from here, we have 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slur 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they were nice enough to give you a little eighth rest here on beat 6 to set you up here at measure 69 for the pizzicato. Okay, measure 69. Like I said, we have that rest here. We're pizzicato here, so make sure we're getting our finger on this F in time. Again, dotted quarters. These are the strong beats. Pluck, pluck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we move transitioning straight into these eighth notes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on and so forth. Again, this part's really not too bad. Just make sure, you get that metronome going. Da, 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 and you're plucking along with it. All right, and that's really all there is to 69 through 70. Okay, measure 77, we're back arco, and dynamic has changed to piano. 77 through all the way up to 84 is probably the toughest section in this piece, just because of the string crossings that you have to deal with, and just like we've got some pretty big leaps and awkward bowings. So definitely take this section under tempo if you haven't been taking, you may even have to take this more under tempo than the rest of this. I would definitely isolate, just a couple measures at a time of this, especially 82 going into 88 or 83. I can't see. But walking ice through this, you have C, F, F, C, F, F, making sure we're changing bows on these weak beats 3 and 6, down, up, right. Same thing here. Make sure we get back to the C that's right there. This part's a little tricky. I would definitely use pinky A there. Here on beat 4, that's just going to save you one string crossing and just save you just a little bit of energy. That's definitely going to help you out. And then it just kind of repeats what you just did. But then we have a little transition here where you have this C. Remember, this C natural. C, A, C, G, and then you have to jump back down again for the A, D, A, and then watch out for this C here. Another tip that might make our lives a little easier, use pinky D here, much like we were whenever we were at the beginning. That's just going to save our arm just a little bit of extra energy, because this section, will wear you out. So take your time, do the best you can with it, and this will be kind of what it starts to sound like once you start getting it. All right, if you made it through that section 77 through 85, great, because you're in the home stretch, and this is, back to stuff you've actually already played before, so this ending all the way to the end should not give you any trouble. 85, we're seeing more of that melody that we had kind of back here at 35. It's almost exactly the same, except for just maybe a note or two. Again, it's just that quarter, eighth. You've heard me say it a million times by now. Quarter, eighth. Some C string stuff. Remember, rest on beat 4. Play 2, 3. Rest 5, 6. Right there. Back to the quarter, eighth nonsense. Slur the first 2 eighth notes. Change bows on 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you can handle yourself back at 35 and you feel good about that, this is really just that again. And then 93, we're a divisi again. 93 is back at 43. So if you've gotten 43 down, this is the same. Um, we get to this last note, the retard with the, which isn't going to affect us because we're playing one note anyway. How do you do that on a long note? But anyway, it's a fermata. We're going to hold that. And just for any confusion, make sure inside stand people playing the bottom note, please make sure you're holding the A and not the G sharp. Otherwise, we're going to sound like a train or something sitting there. So we'll hold that. Come back in at our normal tempo, which really doesn't affect you guys much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold note 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then just like at the beginning, using your pinky, A, D, A, G, C, G, A, D, A, and you're done. And there's really all there is to that. Okay. All right. Hopefully, this is everything you need to know about this piece to kind of get you where you can be working on this on your own. Because obviously, unfortunately, I mean, we can't meet every day to work on this. If there is something you're still confused about, like for instance, those sections that I wasn't able to demonstrate for you guys because I don't have a viola, just remember you can always, come talk to me via my office hours and through Zoom or an email. If you need to set up a different time to talk to me, like that 1 to 2 doesn't work, remember, just email me. I'm pretty much available all day, all weekdays, and I'll be, more than happy to, sit down with you and try to get you guys through your parts. Anyway, stay safe. Hope to see you guys soon, and happy practicing.